Yuqing Hall. Let's go down and see if this one's locked up. So I'm inside this one. It may be because the tour company is, I don't know. This would have been the entrance of an elegant home. Look at the woodwork there. And look at the detail there. I'll get in a little closer. Huh, look at that. Balcony inside the home. Chimney. Perhaps a brick stove. Here a large piece of something, furniture or farm equipment, I don't know. Cooking maybe. Here another large piece of furniture, I have no idea what it is, but those are baskets for both carrying and for winnowing grains. Outside again, I'm focusing on the detail of this carving. You wonder if those faces, have they been obliterated? Perhaps during the Cultural Revolution? Certainly looks like it, doesn't it? Yes, it does. This looks like a man before the bar. Now I'm deep inside the village where the people live. Here interesting, a pump that looks like it's still operational, but also a water faucet. This may obviously be just for trash. Give you a little idea of walking down one of these narrow streets. Pathways better. Backyard garden, and it also almost looks like it's a lawned area, not intended to be a garden in the center. I don't know whether these are original drainage holes or not, but you can see the small holes in here where it's been carved. Oh yeah, look at that. Huh. Isn't that pretty? Huh. I'd like to redo my balcony to look like that. Look at that elegant carving. This would have been like having a modern artist or an artist today, or a gallery put in a fine piece of work. Man probably paid a fair piece to even the craftsmen in those days to do this. I won't have time to appreciate these until I can look at the video myself sometime. Some of the amazing wood carving I've seen. Remember, this noise of the final end of one card game, they get pretty excited at the end of it. Looks like hearts, or they start, or something like that, where they start throwing down cards. Now I'm in another room, which again looks like it might have been some kind of a inner courtyard that provided light and airiness for the house in general, but for these balconies above. Notice that you have light there. But imagine when this was new and someone lived here with all of the original furnishings and perhaps artwork like the painting scrolls hanging from these walls. And did this big arch cover a bed area? Look at the old bikes. Certainly these hooks probably have very large red lanterns. the ceiling. And these look like caskets. Can't think of any other purpose for something like this. Are they already made for somebody or never used? Maybe the person didn't die. Here's some stone carving that might have been a lintel over a door, if not here, somewhere else. And all these places I'm visiting are being lived in. So there's certain parts that you have to carefully ask, can I go in there? And they'll go, no, no, no. And that's what you react to. It's just fun to wander in an old place like this and look at how people are living. Imagine what it would be like if I came here for some reason and spent a month. I'll go down here to Yuqing Hall, which is not how it's pronounced, you can be very sure. Now there's the hall, but I'll bet that all of these houses in here have that same kind of woodworking and same interior design. I don't know if this can be read, so I'll read it. Typical ancient house of the Hui style, built in 1674. Structure like Chinese characters. Business, for the owner was just a successful businessman. The gate is made of stone, and the zenzai urn and kiln stone carving in rear part are having wonderful functions and profound meanings. Look at the detail of that stonework. Imagine the planning it took to lay this thing out. Imagine if you lived in a place like this. Big arches. Perhaps your bedroom was on the second floor and that opening in the ceiling gave you light. And you could look down on the courtyard, and perhaps there were plants. Now these are all carved panels that are covered in glass to protect them, but I'll look at them and see if we can see something. Certainly rats, either as a food source or as a threat to the production. And here 2 oxen, valued of course for their power and tractor ability. And wildlife, maybe at that time wildlife was a source of food that was reasonable. And these look like pigs, but maybe wild boar. Here rabbits, another food source. And these look like some kind of cats. And these may be raccoons or squirrels, I'm not sure. But it's interesting that the one on the right is next to that fruit or those nuts. That must tell us something. These carved scenes are interesting because they seem to show vignettes of daily life. Hard to see them clearly. And notice again that the heads have been either damaged or the faces removed. And that damage is so consistent and specific as to have very definite meaning. After my observations on the other chairs, it looks like somebody some 100 years ago or more decided to do it my way and made the arch come out to support your back better in that chair. Now we're stepping into another room, like we've seen. This may just be the courtyard for the bedrooms upstairs, assuming those are bedrooms, because the designs of the house seem to be the same. That central room with an area covered by arches, and there you can see those arches. And then you pass through this tall door, and here one of these formations here for whatever it was used for. And then we're in this courtyard now. And this wall is probably a common wall with neighbors. These are panels that open up for some reason. Same with that one. But this one on the right opens all the way through to that corridor that we entered into. Look at those fittings. Always intrigued by that. I see hinges on these back panels, so I'm guessing this whole thing opens up. They're a drainage point. And here, what looks to be a usable fishing net with little white weights on it. Here, a drain hole with some carving at the front of it. A nice little detail. And the pipe, while it looks like cast iron, I believe it's fired ceramic of some sort. And the man who spoke very good English, and his wife, he told me this is probably 300 to 400 years old, this home. It represents the home of the last businessman. And look at the detail at the bottom of the posts that provide the structure in here. Again, this idea of using stone and then the wood sits on that, obviously to protect the wood, which it seems to do. Picture of Chairman Mao. Here, an old stone bench. I wonder if that was its initial purpose. A lot of work. This is the inner, or the exterior courtyard, I should say, that would provide access to, in this instance, I think 2 homes, and then a little gate up here, and access to the home that we were just in. There's an alluring entryway here, kind of a messy part here, but the garden suggests a very lovely inner court area. Here I'm entering into another courtyard, exterior courtyard I'll call it, off the sides of which go at least 2 if not more homes. Notice that these intervening gates, if you will, which apparently could be at one time completely closed off, provided a simple place for people to sit and relax. Whether these artifacts were here when the original owner was here or not, don't know. Ceremonial drums, stone drums.